And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here as we get set for our second race of the non-charter series for the PCSRA series. As I'm going to go ahead and pour some more root beer because I brought some root beer up here in the booth. Hang on, I'm trying to get that down. There we go. Apologies about that. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. We're getting set for our second race of the season to determine who will be the three drivers that will make it into this season's, or into the Atlanta race. It's the, I want to say, it's either the Renai 250 or the Heads Up Georgia 250. You'll find out when you see the main event for the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Let me take you through the field so you don't have to worry about me putting the lineup down in the description. On the pole is Stephanie Robertson, Marco Diaz on the outside of the front row, Wyatt Walker, Dylan Cunningham filling in for Wyatt Beanstalk, who has a family emergency, Kyle Langland, Luke Cage in the 29, Prudence Heller, Sarah Costello, a truck series driver, and we'll take you through the rest of the grid. We got Anderson, Maria Orman, Damian Sharper in the Pit Boy Autos car this week. Current NASCAR Camping World Truck Series driver Haley Deacon trying to make her debut. Rosella Manfrenato and former SCCA driver Carla Taylor in the 92. Makara Mirmo is a Truck Series driver in Coca-Cola. And the first race for Marshall Wildcat. Nicholas Dutch, Maddie Crenshaw. I don't know why I said Marcella. Excuse me. Jessica Shelton, Kate Anderson trying to make her first start of the year. Chloe Erickson. Jordan Culp makes his return to the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Nathan Ormond in the 48. Olympia Brightley, Lauren Ekstrom in the 21 this week. Hazel Triggs and her teammate Truman X in the Hour Motorsports entries. Bridget Thomas making her debut for Richard Childress Racing in the 33. Sam Rogers. Holly Hanks in the 61, replacing Desiree Voiles. This driver is a new driver to the group. Welcome the 34, that's Paige McDowell, making her debut. Caitlin Roy, big news, I'll talk about her in just a minute. Albert Gerard, Pericles, welcome back, Amanda. Marty Stevens, Nick Jackson, Melanie Rogers trying to make her first start of the year. Abigail Furling, Samantha Granger, I'll talk about this 35 in just a second. DJ Curtis, Jennifer Power, Kevin Joseph failed to make the truck race, and Q-Man rounds out the field. Let's get these cars going. I'll discuss a couple of things in just a second. All right. Command has already been given. So, as I said, Jordan Culp making his return to the Buffalo Wild Wings series, and that's a restart. That's a restart. That's a restart. That's a restart. Nope, that's a restart. That is a wave off. Sorry to do that, folks, but I don't like cars breaking down. They have to take the green. So that will be an automatic wave off. Okay, as I was saying, Jordan Culp right there in the 77, making his return to the Buffalo Wild Wings series. He's actually a former winner in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Let me make sure everybody rolls off. Everybody is rolling off. Okay. So I said Dylan Cunningham's in that ride because of the fact that Wyatt Beanstalk, who was originally scheduled in that ride, had a family emergency. Sarah Costello is a truck series driver, trying to make her Buffalo Wild Wings series debut. It's been very impressive for DVR. Hopefully she'll do really good. Now, as I said, Bridget Thomas and Paige McDowell. I'll try to get used to her name. They're making their debuts. Now, the 35, I want to discuss this because this is a topic of discussion. I spoke to Quentin, who's right there at the back. By the time you're watching this video, I'll give you an explanation by the time you're watching this video. I got a text from Q-Man on Messenger as of this recording about Allie, who was in this ride at Ricky, who changed her name. And then Lidas, that was Johnny Gardner. While I have an opinion on that situation, I have to do what's best for me. And Allison Rain, no longer the drivers. We're Green Flag Racing here. So, Allie no more in the PCSRA. And I also talked about this driver in just a second on Marco Diaz. It's Wyatt Walker's going for the lead. So, yeah. Now, I think that is all of the news. Oh, Caitlin Roy. I do need to talk about her. Caitlin Roy will be making her Monster Energy Series debut. Holly Hanks is in this car because Desiree Voiles ran Ricky, failed to qualify. In fact, she was involved in the big one. And they're going 4 wide nearly. So, yeah. Now, let me explain about Marco Diaz. I'm going to get to the 78. I know you guys want to see who's leading this race, but I want to talk about this. Before the season started, Patrick Watson and I had a chat about this charter system. And I have not told anybody about this until now. Basically, if you're running for points in Buffalo Wild Wings Series, you would get a provisional. Exception, if you end up going to the Monster Energy Series and you've taken part in more than 2 series, as there's a crash, we'll get to that in just a second, then you will no longer get you will no longer be eligible for a charter, and that's a big crash. Prudence Heller, Luke Cage, Sam Rogers, Damian Sharper. Marco Diaz is involved, and that was what I was talking about. Nicholas Dutch, Sam Rogers, Truman X, a lot of damage to his machine. I don't know if Marty Stevens got a piece of it. Jordan Culp did as well. Riley Anderson, that's 2 weeks in a row for Riley. Samantha Granger's got damaged. Jennifer Powers got damage to the front of her machine. Chloe Erickson, 2 weeks in a row. Last week was an engine problem on her 46. Now she's got damage to that Toyota Supra. And the caution is out. Are they going to make pit stops? The answer is yes. Kyle Langland led us back to our first yellow. Let's take a look at a replay to find out what exactly happened. Let's go to the 91. This is where it kind of starts. While they're making pit stops, let's take a look at the replay here. I was talking about Marco Diaz. And when I was talking about Marco Diaz, you know, it sucks that he's not going to have a champion's provisional to fall back on. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if the 91 thought she was clear. Regardless, it collected a lot of good drivers. Boy, that is a lot of cars. This is almost like the big one last week. Q-Man get through that, or was he already up there? Yeah, he got through that. Wow. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, I don't know if Prudence thought she was clear on Kate Anderson. Yeah, I don't think she was clear, and nothing Kate could have done. That's the responsibility on the 91. And oh yeah, Diaz, Riley Anderson ran the back of Diaz. 8 ran the back, got hit by the 77. Truman X got a piece of it. Marty Stevens. Jordan Culp goes up and gets the wall. Contact with Sam Rogers and Luke Cage. That's a lot of cars involved. That's like what happened in the race at Ricky last week. And Rosella Manfrenato, the former SCCA driver, as I'm trying to get back to her. Looks like she is the one that's going to lead us back to the green flag. Let's go ahead and get us back to the restart. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing here at Atlanta. Rosella Manfrenato, the leader. Maria Ormond, second. Stephanie Robertson, third. Kyle England, fourth. Maddie Crenshaw, fifth. Haley Deegan, sixth. Kate Anderson, seventh. Albert Garrard, eighth. Ninth. Sarah Costello, 10th is Holly Hanks, the Canadian driver, if you ask me. Drivers out after that incident, just 3 drivers, shockingly. That was a lot of cars, and 3 of them got taken out. Marco Diaz, Truman X, and Luke Cage. Luke Cage is going to miss the race. Same with Marco Diaz and Truman X. 2 of the 3 Monster Energy Series drivers involved in this wreck out early. And they'll have to look to the Monster Energy race to see if they can make it in. We only have 39 drivers on track, 37 on the lead lap. 91 has an extended stay, as they're still repairing the damage to that 91. So that is probably an extended stay for Prudence Heller, and looks like she is not going to make the main event. A lot of drivers have got a lot of damage. There's a hood buckle on the 93. I think the 93 ran the back of somebody. So a tough break for Amanda Pericles. We did not catch who she hit, but whoever it was, that's a tough break for her. Now, these drivers pitted back on lap 5. They can make it the rest of the way, which we saw fuel mileage didn't come into play for the Truck Series race. Will that come into play for the Buffalo Wild Wings Series? Knowing these cars have, you know, like I said, different noses, different spoiler, and all that, yada, yada, yada. We'll see. Pericles is coming to pit road. Looks like the damage is too significant, so they're going to take the time to repair the damage to that 93. That is a tough break for Amanda Pericles. She probably ran the back of somebody, and our cameras didn't catch that. Kyle Langland leads. How about Haley Deegan? How would it be for Haley Deegan to make her Buffalo Wild Wings Series debut? Of course, last year was supposed to make her debut in the Xfinity Series, which is this mod, but unfortunately, I think due to threats and all that, yada yada yada, didn't get a chance to make her debut in Buffalo Wild Wings Series. So, or not Buffalo Wild Wings, excuse me, Xfinity Series. How would it be for her to make her Buffalo Wild Wings Series debut? Got that mixed up. Got the 2 series mixed up, but you get the point. Of course, she's driving the number 1 truck sponsored by Monster Energy in the Truck Series. And there's been some rumors that if the 1 truck does not start making races, they may end up putting, as Sam Rogers is coming out of the pits, then they may end up starting to put Haley Deegan for David Gilliland Racing in the Truck Series. There's Nick Jackson. Of course, he's a driver that failed to qualify last week. Makara Mirmo is having a great run in that 147. How would it be for Marshall to make their debut in the PCSRA and NR 2003? There's also been some discussions in the last couple of weeks in regards to the Foster Series. There's been some rumors that they would end up going to the next gen car, which if that's the case, I wouldn't be surprised. Prudence Heller, by the way, has returned to the track, but off the pace. She is currently a total of 8 laps down, so she is definitely going to miss the race. Same with the 93, 8, and 74. Those drivers are confirmed they will not make the main event, so that's a tough break for those drivers. They'll have to try again next week at Las Vegas, which, by the way, that is our next race as far as points is concerned, but we still got to finish up Atlanta because we have our points-paying races we have to do for Trucks, Buffalo Wild Wings, and we also have our division races for the Monster Energy Series. Also, 2 weeks in a row, the 74 and the 47 will have to go home. Last week at Ricky, we only had 1 caution in the race at Ricky. I don't know how many yellows we're going to have in our main event. You'll see that probably tomorrow. Because in case you all didn't know, tomorrow is a double header. We're going to have the Truck Series Fabricators 200. That will be tomorrow, as Nick Jackson is going to take the lead because of lap traffic by Prudence Heller and the 8 of Nicholas Dutch. So we'll have a doubleheader. Truck Series will start first. They'll run first in the nighttime, followed by the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race. That will also be at night. Buffalo Wild Wings, it is confirmed. I just got told by my producer. The Buffalo Wild Wings Series race will be called the, as I look on my deal here, it will be called the Heads Up Georgia 250. So at least that'll be an easier pronunciation for that race, because that Renai or whatever it's called 250 is going to be hard for me to pronounce. So I think Heads Up Georgia makes it a little bit more easier for me, if you ask me. Speaking of Caitlin Roy, she is going for the transfer spot that was held by the 92. And now the 90 trying to go for the third spot. Caitlin Roy, as I said, will be making her Monster Energy Series debut, driving, don't exactly know what ride she'll be driving, but you'll find out when you see her. If she doesn't make this race, you'll see her in the Monster Energy Series garage. Kyle Langland, he's raced here at Atlanta before. Of course, he failed to qualify for the Truck Series race. If I look at my Truck Series, I'm going to go ahead and clear off the points and move this over. And I accidentally deleted who made the race for the Buffalo Wild Wings Series. That's all right. I already know who made the Truck Series, so I'm not concerned about the Truck Series. Carly Taylor is now in the transfer spot. There's Jennifer Power, Sam Rogers, the two Mike Harmon cars. Unfortunately for them, will miss the show. Of course, next week, the 23 will be driven by Natalie Decker. We'll see how Natalie Decker will do. Of course, Haley Deegan's going to run that 71 full-time here in non-charter. And like I said, there were some rumors about the one truck. If they don't pick it up, they're going to probably put Haley Deegan in that ride. Kevin Joseph, who failed to qualify for the truck race, driving the Snickers colors this week, and the driver of the 88. Of course, his fiancée, Lisa Gonzalez, failed to make the show at Ricky last week. Holly Hanks in the 61. Of course, Desiree Voiles was involved in that big wreck in the non-charter race last week. Of course, the non-charter races for Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings Series was a combined video to save you all some time. Be a different story here this weekend. Jessica Shelton, who we thought was going to make the main event at Ricky last week, but apparently she either had a tire going down or something happened in that car and caused her to make an unscheduled pit stop, in which she ended up missing the race and had to go home, which was a shame. Nick Jackson looking good. Kyle Langland looking good. Kyle Langland hasn't raced at Atlanta Motor Speedway since the Pizza X Series, as Jennifer Power nearly got taken out because Jennifer Power, not paying any attention, nearly took out the race leader. But as I was getting ready to say, Kyle Langland's raced here at Atlanta before in the Pizza X Series. Of course, he was driving for Johnny Gardner at the time. Of course, he's driving the 25 this time around. And boy, Nick Jackson got a head of steam. Are we under yellow or are we still green? Yeah, we're still green. Yep, we're still green. I'm going to go ahead and take out the ticker so that way you guys can see the cars. Hopefully, all of those drivers Hopefully all these drivers are... Hopefully we don't get a driver called to the big black and yellow truck like we had. We had a lot of drivers called to the big black and yellow truck last week at Ricky, and all of those drivers were given a warning for not slowing down. I know Jared didn't get a penalty, so a lot of people were saying, why did, Jared was not called to the big black and yellow truck, and that was for a obvious reason, because, he had nowhere to go and all that. He did slow down. But most of those drivers that came piling into that wreck, oh, look out, 54 is in the wall. Somebody's wrecked. That's the 00. Marty Stevens, a lot of damage to the Burger King Toyota. And no question, he got turned. Did that bring out a yellow? The answer is no. See what happened. Quick replay here. I think the 54, Melanie Rogers, committed male abuse. Of course, that sucks for Marty Stevens. Of course, didn't make the show for... Yep, he got turned. That sucks for Marty Stevens. Didn't make the show last week for this series and failed to qualify for the Monster Energy Series season opener because the duels were rained out and it went to points, and he had no points to fall back on. So unfortunately, he ended up being one of the drivers that had to go home. And now, not the way to start off. And now he's 2 for 2 in D&Qs for the Buffalo Wild Wings series. But unlike last weekend, he will get the race in the Monster Energy Series because it'll be division races for the remainder of the season. So not the way the 00 won. And of course, he's still on pit road to repair the damage on his Burger King Toyota. So tough break for the 00. Of course, he will drive for the Mercedes team in the Monster Energy Series, the number 3. And there he is off pit road. It's like Chloe Erickson. She will go 2 for 2 in D&Qs in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race. But like Marty Stevens, she will be taking part in that race weekend after that. Paige McDowell, not the run she would have liked in 29th, but to be fair, she is never raced in a Buffalo Wild Wings Series car, so I'm going to cut her a bit of a break. As the 74 and the 91 are creating a roadblock to block up Maddie Crenshaw, the 33, Bridget Thomas, Quentin Moore, allowing Paige McDowell to catch right up to her. As they're already working the Marty Stevens machine. Haley Deegan currently on the bubble. We talked about, I was going to go ahead and minimize that. We talked about drivers who could capitalize on some people's misfortunes. Of course, Fitzy's not entered this weekend because Fitzy's running the East Coast races, excluding Atlanta because Fitzy's doing his V8 supercar commitments. So he's not going to run the full schedule. Had a good run at Ricky. Hazel Triggs in the 02. Hazel Triggs will be in the Monster Energy Series race, driving the number 10 GoDaddy Chevrolet for Stuart Haas Racing. A driver who made it into the playoffs but was eliminated in the Monster Energy Series last season as far as a playoff is concerned. And what was a very good rookie campaign for the 02, for her in the number 10, of course, like I said. Made it in the playoffs, was eliminated, I believe. I don't know what round she got eliminated from, as they're going to catch Amanda Pericles. Kyle Langland, like Hazel Triggs, who are running 1-2 right now in this race. Kyle Langland, like Hazel Triggs, made it into his first ever playoff appearance. Unfortunately, he was eliminated in the round of... Either it was the round of 20 or the round of 16 or 15. One or the other. He was eliminated earlier in the playoffs, so hopefully... And, of course, he's racing in the Foster Series, driving the 077 Jimmy John's Chevrolet, which he will be racing that car when we get to Chicagoland in the Monster Energy Series race in divisions. Nick Jackson on the bubble. Hazel Triggs passing the 25 for the lead, while they are negotiating the 93, who's a lap down. I keep thinking of the Monster Energy Series for some reason. And they're also catching the 8 car, who could also be a problem. Don't think the 93 got a whole lot of damage other than that little hood buckle on that Ford Mustang. Got 33 on the lead lap, 39 in the race, and only 3 drivers out of the race. And of course, it's sunny and cloudy off and on all day today. I'll be catching Riley Anderson really soon. Hazel Triggs still leading. Now they've caught Riley Anderson, and that's Jordan Culp. So Jordan Culp's return to the Buffalo Wild Wings Series has not gone very well. .49 has the fastest lap of the race. Hopefully we don't have another yellow. Okay, I thought somebody had damage there, but I'm just seeing things. A-car really needs to fix their damage. Hate having to criticize. Oh, they're going to go 3 wide, but keeping it together. Of course, the 93 not battling for position. Nearly got into the 23 there. That was close, but they keep it together. Kyle Langland currently the leader. Now he's caught up in traffic, heavy traffic. That's going to bring everybody else right up to his bumper. Of course, we had this happen in the Truck Series non-charter race last week at Ricky, where that played a big factor in who was going to make that race. Wonder if it'll be a factor here in this one. We'll see. Right now, the top 3. Haley Deegan trying to get around Riley Anderson. Anderson's going to move up, let the 71 go. Put another lap on Prudence Heller, who's just, If I was Sprint Teller, I'd just park the car and just go home. I could have recorded the race on my phone, but that's alright. I'd rather stream the race for y'all. Quentin Moore is going to go 2 for 2 in DNQs. These drivers will try again next week at Las Vegas. Those that are running the car full time in the non-charter. Riley Anderson 2 for 2 in DNQs here in this series. It's still Hazel Triggs, Kyle Langland in second, Nick Jackson in third. All three of those drivers are trying to make their first start of the year here in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series here this season. Of course, Hazel Triggs could use this data to help her out in the Monster Energy Series race after the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race is done. Of course, our points-paying events for trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings Series will be coming up next. Langland, Triggs, and Ekstrom took that spot away from the 49. 71 of Haley Deegan trying to get pursuit to catch up to the top 5. Impressive run. Oh, 51, Kate Anderson's on pit road. Something has happened to that 51. All right, let's see. I'm gonna check and see what happened to the 51. Oh, mechanical problem. Ah, that's a tough break for Kate Anderson. Running in the 19th position, unfortunately, looks like she will end up missing this race. That's too bad. Now she's going a couple laps down doing so. Back up front, Kyle Langland with 10 laps of racing to go leads this race. Of course, if Kyle Langland makes this race, of course, he'll be down there in the pits. Of course, he'll still be up there for the Truck Series pre-race show. Same with the Buffalo Wild Wings Series pre-race show. But he'll be on pit road. About to put Jennifer Power another lap down, so the New Zealander having a difficult race here. As I just knocked over my napkin. And Jennifer Power letting Kyle Langland by without much of an issue. Now they got to get around Nicholas Dutch, and Kyle Langland's looking really good. I'm not going to say he's going to win this race. It's just if he can get through all this traffic, then he would be good to go. If not, then that could be a problem. Just like I was talking about. Nicholas Dutch getting in the way. This is good news for Haley Deegan because she's really going to get around. Here goes the 0-2, going to go by. Kyle Langland still getting held up. Now Kyle Langland, who is in the lead, is now out. And that's allowed Makara Amirmoez and company to catch right up to the leaders if they can get around the 8 of Nicholas Dutch first. Because Dutch has got damage, and that could be bad news. It's like Makara's going to get by, Deegan's going to get by. They're going to gain a lot on the leaders. after they're held up. Now Kyle Langland retakes the transfer spot from Nick Jackson as Hazel Triggs leads Lauren Ekstrom in second. Hello, pace car. You just made me miss the battle for the final transfer spot. Of course, we had a caution that ended the race early in the Truck Series non-charter, race number 2. Oh, Hazel Triggs coming to pit road. Fuel? Did these drivers not have enough fuel to make it? Oh, boy. Hazel Triggs is pitting. That's a tough break. And now Lauren Ekstrom's leading, but do they have enough fuel to make it? Fuel mileage playing a huge factor in this race. Oh, my. I don't know if these drivers could have made it on fuel. That's a shame. Now Nick Jackson owns the final transfer spot, but Makara Amirmoez wants it. And Hazel Triggs is going to miss the race. That's too bad. Had a shot to win it, but like what happened to Jessica Shelton last week at Ricky, she will end up going home disappointed. And now Kyle Langland can't make it on fuel. Neither can Amirmoez. Sarah Costello staying out. Did these drivers not fill their tanks full of fuel? If that's the case, oh boy. That's bad news. Oh my goodness. A lot of these drivers can't make it on fuel. Nick Jackson can't make it. Neither can Lauren Ekstrom. Costello. Now the question is, who's going to make this race? I was not expecting fuel mileage to come into play. Oh my. They're saying the 61 is in the lead. Holly Hanks. With 2 to go, could she make it? Or is she not going to make it? Because I really don't know who's going to make this race. And now she can't make it. I was not expecting this, to be honest with you. Well, then who's going to be the leader? And this is coming to the white flag, may I point out. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting fuel mileage to come into play. Trying to find the leader. And she's taking the white flag. That means one more lap to go. Where's the 23? She's taking the white. Kyle Langland's in second. I think Kyle Langland's going to win this race on fuel mileage. My goodness. If he doesn't get hit by the 74, I mean, he's good. I was not expecting fuel mileage to come into play, and Kyle Langland's going to win the non-charter race for the Buffalo Wild Wings series. That was crazy. Lauren Ekstrom makes it, and Makara Amirmoez gets Marshall Wildcat into their very first Buffalo Wild Wings series race. And Hazel Triggs comes up 1 spot short. That's very unfortunate. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do... Oh, whoops. And this is big for Ekstrom to make this race, because she is going to make the race, and that's a big shocker. Well, that was an interesting race, and this could come into play of what's going to happen in our races coming up tomorrow night. But Kyle Langland makes it, Lauren Ekstrom, and Makara Amirmoez. by 2/10 took the final transfer spot. Drivers who unfortunately will have to go home: Hazel Triggs, Nick Jackson, Sarah Castillo. We'll see her in the truck race tomorrow. Melanie Rogers, Haley Deegan, Stephanie Robertson, Carly Taylor. Yep, okay, I said it right. Shelton, Hanks, Roy, Manfrenato, Joseph. So Kevin Joseph goes 2 for 2 like Zachary Taylor did at Ricky last week. Wyatt Walker, Quentin Moore, DJ Curtis, Dylan Cunningham, Samantha Granger, Olympia Brightly, Albert Garrard, Paige McDowell. I am sorry for the brain fart. Maria Orman, Abigail Furley, Maddie Crenshaw, Damian Sharper, Nathan Orman. Going down through the rest of the results: Bridget Thomas, Chloe Erickson, 2 for 2 in D&Qs. Amanda Pericles, Riley Anderson, 2 for 2 in D&Qs. Jordan Culp, Jennifer Power, Kate Anderson, who had that unscheduled stop, never recovered and finished 35th. Sam Rogers, Marty Stevens, Nicholas Dutch, Prudence Heller, Marco Diaz, Truman X, Luke Cage. Those drivers, unfortunately for them, will not make the show. That was crazy. Fuel mileage came into play during the course of this race, and Kyle Langland will make his first start of the year. In fact, all 3 of them will make their first start of the season. For Amir Moez, Makara Amir Moez, that is, she will make her debut in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series. So what in the world are we in store for the truck race, the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race, and the Monster Energy Series races coming up? You'll have to tune in to find that answer out. Hope you enjoyed this non-charter race for the Buffalo Wild Wings Series. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We have shown you your full finishing results. Here they are one more time, all the way down to 42nd. And we'll see you guys next time for the points paying events here in Atlanta. For Trucks Buffalo Wild Wings, they will be tomorrow as a doubleheader, and then Monster Energy Series will cap it off before all 3 series head to the 1.5 mile track at Las Vegas, Nevada. Until then, I've been Edaville signing off, and you have been watching a production of the PCSRA, the best in our racing since 2017. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the points paying event. Until then, bye-bye.